guys, welcome back to Jake Bakes. Obviously, as you can see, I am not in the kitchen. I am at a really wonderful place, a fabulous place to come find some kitchen inspiration. Eckert's Family Farm out here in Belleville, Illinois. This is a great place to find good local produce, support a great local business. I cannot wait to find some great inspiration for the kitchen. So all that's left to do is to have some fun and pick some apples. Alright guys, I think we got everything we need. I got a ton of apples, some peaches, some apple butter, apple cider. Last thing we need to do is get back in the kitchen and get baking. Alright guys, now that we're back from the orchard, I'm a little tired. It was a little balmy for a fall day. I just want to make something super easy, so we're doing apple hand pies. I have some pie crust left over from a different recipe, so I'm just gonna use that, or you can use store-bought, that's plenty okay in this case. So we're just gonna make the filling. I've got 4 cups of apples freshly picked. I've got some Gala in here as well as some Granny Smith. We are going to add this into a pan that's about medium-high heat. And we're just gonna cook these until they start to just soften. I'm gonna add a half a stick of butter in there as well. And then to this, while that butter melts, I'm going to add a few other ingredients. I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of sugar, white granulated. I'm going to add about 1/4 of an orange that I zested, just to brighten up some of these flavors. And I've got a nice sprinkle of salt, which will kind of draw out some of the liquid in the apples themselves. And once this is starting to like let out some juices, we're gonna go ahead and add in our spices. Let's go ahead and add in 2 cinnamon sticks now and let that rest and let those warm up with this. Let these soften up. Okay, I've gone ahead and allowed this to kind of cook down. You'll see it's gotten a little syrupy because I added all of our spices in and then 2 tablespoons of cornstarch that'll help to kind of thicken up. I'm gonna take this off the heat because you don't wanna do this while the heat's on. I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of good vanilla. My secret ingredient is bourbon. I'm just gonna add a couple tablespoons of this, about a shot. This helps to just cut through some of the richness and add just a nice little back note. Now give this a stir, and we're gonna let this cool completely before we use it in our pies. So now we just need to get our crust ready, and I'm just going to flour the board. And I have some crust that I have already pre-made. You can very much use pre-made on this. I'm gonna roll this out till it's about the thickness of like a quarter. Okay, now that it's nice and thin, I can almost start to see the color of the table underneath. I'm gonna go ahead and cut out a few circles. I'm just using a glass. You don't need to do anything fancy with this. I'm gonna dip the glass first in flour, and then just go in, push down, there you go. I'm gonna do this all the way through, as many as I can. Then I'm gonna roll out my dough once more. You don't wanna do it too much more than once more because it'll start to get tough. And then we'll go ahead and fill these. I've got my filling. I'm gonna go ahead and grab just about a spoonful. You don't wanna really overfill these. You're gonna have some leftover pie filling, which is great because you do it once, you don't have to do it too many more times. It's gonna look like that's not that much. It will be, I promise. So then I take a little bit of egg white, go around the outside just to wet this down to help the other crust stick. And I just push this one out a little bit more so that it's a little bit bigger than the other one. Pick this up, put it down on there, kind of gently push, and then go ahead and just push down all the way around. This will give you that very, very homemade, I made these look. And then the last thing we need to do, brush the top with egg white. This will give them a really nice glossy finish. And then we're gonna score them. You can do like little shapes if you want. I've done little hearts, those are super cute. But I just like to keep them really nice and simple and homey. And do 1, 2, 3. This helps to release steam, so just make sure that you go all the way through. I like, for a little texture, to sprinkle with a little demerara. Gives a nice crunch on top that you're like, ooh, that's tasty. So we got one down. I'm gonna finish the rest of these and then we'll get them in the oven. Okay, these guys were in the oven at 400 for about 15 to 20 minutes and they look perfectly delicious. All that's left to do is to taste these. Now, I love that demerara sugar on top. Be careful because these will be hot. Look at that. All that delicious, good, gooey, and look how flaky that crust is. Oh my God, that crust just melts in your mouth. Oh man, and those apples, delicious sweetness. So good. Got some ice cream. Guys, you're gonna wanna make this. You're gonna wanna share it with all your friends, just like this video. So please like, share, and subscribe, and make sure you to come back next week because I've got more orchard fun in store. So we'll see you here next week on another Jake Bakes. Yummo.